Everybody, my name is the Welsh Assassin and welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be predicting the Premier League for the 2026 to 2027 season. So at the conclusion of the 2025 to 2026 Premier League season, our winners were Arsenal. However, I am not going to be starting up top. I'm going to be starting with my relegation, then I'm going to predict my top four, and then European fights for fifth and sixth, and then the 7th to 17th to fill out the rest of the table. Might not do it like that. I might change it halfway through. I do not know. As we all know, for these footballing FIFA YouTubers, etc., it is very difficult to predict, even for a normal fan. The Premier League is a hard table to predict, and I think it's the hardest in all of football. So, without further ado, let's crack on. In last place, I think it's going to be Ipswich. I generally think Ipswich are going to come up, struggle again, and go back down. I would love for them to stay. Don't get me wrong, I really would love them to stay, but with what they're contending against and who they are fighting against, it's difficult to say that they will survive this time around. I don't think they'll have a fairy tale like last time, and they'll come up, stay for a season or two, and then go back down. I think they're going to come up and go straight back down this year. Next up, I have Hull City. I think they're going to come up, they're going to fight and fight. I generally think that the gap between Ipswich and Hull City is going to be about a 10-point gap. Just to show how competitive 19th all the way to probably about 5th actually is, just like the season that's just gone. 19th or 18th all the way to goddamn 3rd in the Premier League was what, it was tough. You couldn't decide until like towards the end of April, you could start seeing that gap. But before that, it was tough. After April concluded, it became clearer. But still, a lot of teams involved. 19th and 18th, all the way to probably 6th and 5th. So it's a bit of a tight squeeze. I generally think it will be a tight squeeze as well this coming year. In 18th, also getting relegated, we have. See, last year we had Tottenham struggle, and I generally think that they'll struggle again. I don't think they'll get relegated this year. However, I am going to be putting a bigger team than you would actually expect in here. I'm going to be putting Nottingham Forest into relegation. I've just been looking at the Premier League table next to me, and compared to what Nottingham Forest did last season, they shouldn't really be 16th by the end of it. They finished in the goddamn quarterfinals, semi-finals of the Europa League. They got 6th last year in the table, but as a 25-26 season, they didn't do that well in the league. That therefore, I'm putting them in relegation. They're going to go down. I think they're also going to be one of those teams that to come straight back up and stay in the Premier League for another couple of years. Now, out of relegation, we're going to skip relegation, and I'm going to be putting in my first place. I don't think it would be City. I don't think it would be Liverpool, Arsenal, United, Chelsea. I don't think it will be. I'm thinking it's one of them, of course, but I don't think it's going to be that much of a fight. I think it's going to be a big fight. It's going to be close, and that's the reason why I'm going to be putting. I'm going to be putting Arsenal first. Last season, I didn't put them first, I put second, but they got first place this time round, and I think they'll double it up after this. Though I do not want to see them win another Champions League, Premier League, because of the fans. They're toxic. They are horrendous. So I would love to see Arsenal as a club win it again, but as for the fans, I don't want them to win it. But in reality, I think Arsenal are going to be the winners. As for second all the way to fourth, I think Manchester United will get second. I will think that Manchester City will get third. Aston Villa will get fourth. The reason why I put Manchester United second is because we had a struggle of a season with Ruben Amorim. We struggled. Halfway through, we were the bottom half of the table, and then Michael Carrick came in and launched us to third place. And if we get the signings that Carrick wants, the signings that the team needs to grow and have more of a foundation and stability, we could be fighting for the Premier League next season. But I don't want us to win it. I want us to build up to it. I don't want us to be like a easy career mode on FIFA or FC. You throw in a crap ton of budget, next you know you've won the Premier League in your first season. I want to see the build. All this build that we've been promised time and time again, manager after manager, year after year. We're building, we're building. Yeah, and so has the other teams across the world. They've been building. So I generally think we're going to stop building and we're going to start construction. So that's why I'm going to say we end second. City, I'm going to put third, and I'm going to, by guessing, I'm going to say the top four is going to be in about a 10-point radius of each other. Manchester City and Aston Villa are going to be the lower pecking order of those 10 points. I think Manchester City will be strong first half, and just like this year, in the second half, they didn't really perform that well. For example, their final 5 games, they had 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. Yes, it's good. But when you compare it to other teams like Arsenal, who had 5 wins in their last 5 games, United with 4 wins and a draw, Aston Villa with 2 wins, a draw, and a loss, Liverpool with a win, 2 draws, and 2 losses. Man City stands out as a differential, as a middleman. So for that reason, I'm going to put City as third. Villa, I think they're going to have a wonderful time in the Champions League. I think they're going to stand up and show that they belong in the Premier League and show that they should never have left it in the first place. So I generally think this is going to be a season, a year for Villa fans to remember. Hell, the past 3 to 4 years, it's been a length of time to remember for you guys. In fifth, I'm going to be putting Liverpool. I think they'll get Europa League, and I think they're going to win it to go straight to the Champions League. They are a team that is going to be missing out just by a point or two against Villa. I think the third to sixth is going to be close as well. I don't think United and Arsenal are going to run away with it. I think they're going to be comfortably away from the likes of European competition elsewhere, being the Conference League and Europa League. I think Liverpool will start to refresh itself. They're going to get rid of a lot of dead wood. They're going to be getting rid of a lot of good wood that doesn't really want to leave, but they need to get rid of it just to grow. Vert and Isak were the disappointment. I generally think that they will warm up now over this big summer break that they're going to be getting. They're going to glue with the team strongly, and I'm looking forward to seeing what damage they can cause. Yes, as a United fan, it's bad to say that. I'm generally looking forward to seeing what Verts and Isak and other players do for that team next season. And I don't think they'll get fifth. I strongly think they'll get fifth. I just think they could get Champions League and boot Villa or City or United out of that fight. For the Conference League now, I generally say this from the bottom of my heart. I generally think Fulham will fight for it. This season, they have been so consistent with middle ground. Their last 5 games have been 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses. Yes, there's likes of Chelsea, Brentford, Brighton, Sunderland, and Bournemouth to go yet, but I think Fulham, they're going to have a wonderful season. They're going to push and push above their expectations, and they're going to love that. The fans are going to be right behind them. I'm going to be right behind them. I generally want them to do well. And I think this is the year to do well, get Conference League, do well in the Conference League, and then maybe take a step back. As for 7th to 17th, this is where it gets a bit dicey now. In 7th, I'm going to be having Chelsea. I'm just going to put them all in and then we're going to debunk them. In 8th, I'm going to have Bournemouth. In 9th, I'm going to have Newcastle. In 10th, Sunderland. In 11th, Brighton. In 12th, Brentford. 13th, Crystal Palace. 14th, Coventry. 15th, Leeds. 16th, Everton. And 17th will be Tottenham. So we've just put this in for now. I'm going to be moving it about, don't get me wrong. Hell, I'm looking at what I've put in 7th to 17th, and I strongly disagree with Fulham. Just looking at this, I'm happy with my relegation, and I'm also happy with my UCL for my 4 UCL teams. And Europa League. I'm happy with the Europa League teams. So Arsenal, United, City, Villa, Liverpool, Forest, Hull, and Ipswich. I'm happy with. Tottenham all the way to Fulham. I'm a bit undecided on, but let's settle them in stone now. Like I said, for Fulham, I'd love them to do Conference League. I'd love them to perform well, and I generally think they will. But reality, will they? No, I don't think they will. But I would love to see it. That's why I put them there. But when it comes to Conference League, I don't think they'll get it. I think Chelsea will get it. Out of all these teams, it has to be either Chelsea, Bournemouth, or Sunderland. Hell, I could throw Newcastle. I could throw all of these teams in here, but this is my choice. And I think Chelsea will fight with Fulham, who will get 7th. Basically all these teams here, Brentford, Brighton, Sunderland, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Fulham, and Chelsea, they're all going to be close. They're all going to be fighting for that Conference League and Europa League spot. Chelsea obviously more hungry for the Champions League, so they're going to have a lot more going into this. I hope to God you don't get 10th. Not again, because looking here, you've got 3 losses, a draw, and a win. Garnacho needs to leave your club. They're the reason why United got rid of him. And my girlfriend, she is a Chelsea fan, so I'm hoping she understands why I want you guys in the top 6. But if you're going to perform like the way you did this season, I don't think you perform well in the new season. I mean, you've got Xavi Alonso coming into your club. I want to see what you can do with the club. I want to see what change he can do for you guys. 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. I'm happy with that. Fulham, Bournemouth, Newcastle, Sunderland, Brighton, and Brentford. I'm happy to keep you guys there in that position. Now, Crystal Palace in 13th. I'm happy with Crystal Palace as well. See, now this is where things are going to get interesting. I don't think Spurs are going to wake up. I think they'll stay in the league longer. So I think they'll go in front of Coventry and fall behind Palace. Because I think they're slowly going to wake up, but not next season, the 2027 to 28 season, they will get relegated if they end up proving me right. If they get bottom half of the league table, there's a hope. But if they get the bottom quarter of the league table, they're definitely going down. They finish 17th, they finish 17th, and I'm predicting them to finish 13th. Is it 13th? 17th, 16th, 15th, 14th. I can't count. I think they'll finish 14th. I think they'll do well. I don't think they'll do amazingly well or great. They'll just be above average with the teams around them. For Spurs, it isn't that great that they're down this far for 2 seasons in a row. And me putting them here, I think it's realistic, to be honest. Half their team's going to want to leave towards the winter break if they're still down in this pecking order of the league. If they're down the bottom half their team are going to want to leave. And if they can't leave, they're going to be leaving no matter where they finish in the summer. Um, and after that, they'll go down because they've got no one. They haven't got their team. They've got the goddamn twigs from the floor, not the branches from the tree. Coventry, I think they're going to do amazing. I think they're going to actually smash all the teams below them. Leeds, Everton, Forest, Hull and Ipswich. I think they're going to absolutely batter them. All the teams above them, I say up to Brighton, they'll do pretty well with. Everyone from Sunderland to Arsenal, it's going to be a regular occurrence of draws and losses. As for Leeds and Everton, I think they're going to fight it out. And whoever wins out of these two to get 16th, I generally think might push for top half of the table next season. Well, not next season, the season afterwards. So it's a bit of left and right, right and left, up and down, down and up. I want Leeds to stay up. I think they deserve the Premier League. They are a Premier League team. Everton, I've been predicting them to go down for the past 5 years. I don't see how they keep staying alive. For example, last season, so we won't even go last season, we'll go 2023 to 24 season. They finished in 15th. 24-25, they finished in 13th. Well, season just gone, they also finished in 13th. I think this is time. I think it's time now that they will be going down. But that all depends on if they finish well in the 27-28 season. So ultimately, here we are. I'm just going to go look through it one more time with you guys. In relegation, in 20th, we have Ipswich, 19th, Hull City, and in 18th is Nottingham Forest. In 17th, we have Everton. In 16th, Leeds, 15th, Coventry, 14th, Tottenham, 13th, Crystal Palace, 12th, Brentford, 11th, Brighton, 10th, Sunderland, 9th, Newcastle, 8th, Bournemouth, 7th, Fulham. Going to the Conference League will be Chelsea, Europa League will be Liverpool, and for our Champions League winners, or not winners, the Champions League positions, fourth will go to Villa, third will go to City, second will go to United, and first will go to Arsenal. As for the points difference, as I mentioned, I think first, second, so Arsenal and United will be within, let's say, about 3 to 4, and then Arsenal all the way down to Villa will be within 10. I'm going to say Manchester City all the way down to Fulham will be within about 10 to 15. Fulham all the way down to Brentford is going to be very close. I generally think there'll be 6 points between them. As for Palace all the way down to Nottingham, I think it's going to be quite wide. You're going to have 10 points to 15 points as well. As for Everton to Ipswich is going to be very, very big. I generally think, like I said, between Ipswich and Hull, there's going to be a 10-point difference. Between Hull and Forest, it's about 5 to 10 as well. And Everton and Leeds are going to be fighting for that 17th, 16th, 15th, and 14th spot. But I think Coventry and Tottenham will beat them out to it. I think the biggest shock here in my table predictions is having Villa at fourth. If they show that they want to replace Tottenham, they will get the Champions League football again. And I wouldn't be surprised if they go far in the Champions League in this new Champions League season. So if we compare my league, my predicted league, to the official ending of the league this year, we have Arsenal in first, Manchester City in second, Man United in third, Aston Villa in fourth, Liverpool in fifth, Bournemouth sixth, Sunderland seventh, Brighton eighth, Brentford 9, Chelsea 10th, Fulham 11th, Newcastle 12th, Everton 13th, Leeds 14th, Palace in 15th, Forest in 16th, Spurs in 17th, West Ham, Burnley and Wolves relegated in 18th, 19th and 20th. So yes, this is generally what I think the league will look like on my predictions. I think the biggest scary prediction here is going to be Tottenham. If Tottenham do bad, that's good for my prediction. If they do well, they're going to be in the top 7, maybe top 10. Either way, as usual, my name has been the Welsh Assassin. Please like and subscribe, and until my next video, hwyl fawr.